Hello, model railroaders. John back with the 16 by 8 river layout. I mentioned in my last video I was going to give you a little update on what I've been working on because I haven't really done a lot that it's worth showing, and I've built enough layouts. You guys have seen me do a lot of tear down stuff and things like that before. I'm not going to show you step by steps of what I'm doing. I didn't tear my layout down. I'm just doing a reface of it and a reorganization of the track. So with that being said, what I decided to do is my biggest beef has always been having to swap out my trains because I only have one track. And I still do, but I have I'm making on the other side about a 18 to 19 foot extended siding that joins on both ends. So I can actually run both two trains at one time, you know, having one going in and out. I'm going to be using electric switches. So anyways, I decided at that point it was time I build a staging yard, and people have told me, well, you should have one. They're right. It does make it, it will make it easier. I haven't ran this yet. I powered it up to make sure it worked, and it does, but I can't run it all the way around because my bridge is out. I have to build a new crossover bridge. I'm switching back to that instead of the round circles. They just weren't working for me the way I wanted them to. So, and one other thing is, I was just going to note, I have this big white trim on here. This is a new product that I'm trying versus using Masonite, and this is called Sintra. It's a thick vinyl. It comes in 16th. I think it's 1/8 inch, and I think comes in 1/4 inch. This is 16th. So it's actually a little thicker than a 16th, but it's pretty rigid, but it bends super good. And the nice thing is, if you build a mountain and you want to have the face of it following the shape of this stuff, it cuts super easy. You can cut it with a utility knife or scissors. So it's a pretty good product, and it's way cheaper. Well, at least where I get it, it's cheaper than buying the Masonite. So I think a sheet of this stuff, 4x8 sheet, is about 25 bucks. So anyways, getting back to that. Oh, and then I have it's bright white. We wanted to try that, just see how it went with our trim, because all of our trim is all white in our house. Yeah, it's not working for me. I'm gonna probably paint this. But I'm not gonna paint just the standard gray of our walls. I think I'm gonna paint it just about 2 shades darker. I think it'll give it a little accent in here. So I think it should look good. My wife was kind of opposed me doing this in our family room, but I think she saw it and she said it looks a little busy, and it does. It's kind of, well, because I got a kind of a city theme kind of going here. And again, that is something I just did to fill this thing. I literally just built this thing yesterday. I mean, I did everything in one day except cutting the hole where I put the pictures on my video last weekend. I cut the hole in the wall, and that part there, that took me about a week of planning, measuring, doing all this stuff to make sure I didn't hit wires, all kinds of things. And plus, this is a structural wall in our house. It's the center wall. So I hit it dead on, right between the studs, no problem. And it was above the supports, the cross braces. So it came out really good. And I actually was only about 1/4 of an inch off. So I was pretty good. I was very pleased with that. So, but anyways, I got that done, and it goes all the way through to the other side. Now it's gonna meet up with the main track about 10 inches before the crossover bridge. And I have that track in there, but it's not hooked up for the bridge. So I can't run this thing through, but I powered it up and ran the trains each lane through it just to make sure it does it. The curve coming out of the wall is a 22-inch curve. And it should be relatively reliable. I did use all my old track that was on my old layout without the road bed on it, because I'm not going to use that plastic road bed stuff anymore. So, and then past about the 2 BNSF locomotives, it's all flex track all the way back, all 3 lanes. So, and they are powered. They're individually, well, they're powered by one power source, but I have a switch to shut each one off. I actually just have the wires hanging. I haven't shut them off yet. So I have to hook them up to a switch, and there'll be a switch out here, or I'm going to run it through the wall. So, and so it'll be on the other side where my console will be. So anyways, I just felt I needed this, and I got my three most most commonly used trains. Of course, that Burlington Northern there, that green one with the SD units on it, them are my new ones I just got. I love those things. I tell you, I've wanted that type for years, and I just never bought them, and I got a heck of a deal on those. So, and they did run. I tried them. They run good. So anyways, that's going to be one of my regular runners too. And then of course my two favorite BNSFs. Them are of course super great running engines. And then of course my favorite F unit. That is one of my extreme favorite trains, that one. So anyways, getting back, don't want to get too sidetracked here. Was my purpose, was to do this so I could run different trains through the room without having to spend 20 minutes lining trains and taking cars off, setting them on something else. And this is perfect. It works out good. So if I get sick of one of these, a few months, I can just take the whole thing off, throw it on my other shelf that's underneath my bench in the other, or my layout in the other room. That one's quite empty now. There's not a lot on it except buildings and some cars. But I have packed away some of the stuff that I just am never going to use again. I'm going to be taking a bunch of stuff to one of them train shows myself. So, because I got a lot of stuff. I've got so many cars. I'm sure just like most of you, we all have a lot of that kind of stuff, and we all have more than we need and probably even more than we want. So anyways, this is what it came out to look like. I'm very pleased with it. I'm happy. Came out good, and it's super, super strong. I have it bolted to the wall on like 6 bolts all the way through. And it is super strong. I'm really pushing on it really hard. It doesn't budge. So it's going to be perfect for this. Now, the only thing I'm going to say that I will probably do in time is this, the back with the, them pictures that I did. Them are pictures I printed on my printer here. I will probably take those and move them up. And I think I'm going to put some blue sky behind this whole thing. And I might even just switch it over to a mountain area scenery with a very light industrial backdrop. Kind of like what you would see if you're going out to the Colorado or something along a rail yard that's up against mountains, where you just see the mountains in the background and just a few industrial buildings. This is kind of what you're looking at here, is like Chicago or New York or something like that. Or even actually Minneapolis looks like this downtown in certain areas, down by the river. So, but that's kind of my plan. I just did this because it was quick and easy, and it literally took me probably 20 minutes to put these buildings there. They're just cardboard, so nothing fancy, nothing built. There's a couple plastic ones there. You could probably recognize some of these. This one, that. Most of these are all paper. So anyways, but it gives it a finished look. And plus I also wanted it so when people came in here, it looked like this thing had a purpose. So that's kind of another reason why I put the buildings on there. When I do the mountains, I think that'll look really nice too. And I haven't decided what I'm going to do for a portal. If I kept it city, I was going to do some kind of I guess it would be like a trestle metal iron bridge thing that would simulate the train would be coming out from underneath a bridge. That was what I was planning. On the other side, of course, it's going to be a mountainside tunnel portal that it'll come out of. So anyways, but that's the plan. And I just thought you guys would like to see this. I will show pictures of what it looks like on the other side. The room's a mess because I haven't been working in there a lot. I did some tearing apart and extending the layout on the other side of this wall to this long. Actually, it goes a little longer. It goes about 1 foot from the door. It actually ends probably right about here on the other side. So with all that, it's kind of, I haven't cleaned up a lot in there because I've just been doing little bits at a time. I'm very busy at my regular job. So come home, I don't always feel like doing this stuff. So that's why it's kind of I've been dragging my feet on it, and I have a long ways to go, and I'm sure this is not going to be one of my 3-month builds. It's going to be something that's going to take me about probably till fall, maybe midwinter next year, to have something looking somewhat complete on the other side. So the nice thing is I don't have to build all my hills again because I still have them all. I kept every hill that I had on my layout. Now I did lift them off so I could reface them, but they will all fit right back where they were. Nothing's changing that way. All my backtrack over there is changing, except it's going to be the same path. It's just I'm leveling it. I got rid of all the elevations. So I just got tired of some trains. I couldn't run certain ones because they wouldn't pull a long train up the hill, or they would get so slow. So I just had to change that out. So, but anyways, that's what I got. I just thought you guys would like to see it. Sorry I rambled on so long, and just watch for the pictures at the end of this video. Thanks for watching.